Thank you so much for giving us the time. Okay, can you introduce yourself about your schooling to your journey towards Dando or your very memorable days of something સ્કૂલમાં કંઈક કર્યું હોય which intrigued you કે આવું કંઈક હું કરીશ.
School was in St. Xavier School, Jamnagar. Was pretty boring. I was a very boring student at that time. आगे बेसवानु. You get good marks, you get good ranks, and that's about it. Only after 8th or 9th you understand that you can bunk classes, you can roam around. પણ એ જ્યારે પણ કરે ત્યારે I used to go home and tell કે આજે આ lecture bunk કરેલા છે. Parents were very open with that. Okay, if you want to do it, do it. Your marks shouldn't get affected. Whatever you want to do, you do it. So that was about it. After 12th I was in Ahmedabad. HA માંથી મેં BCom કર્યું, BK school માંથી MBA.
Okay.
And while I was studying, I was very clear that I want to go in the field of exports.
Okay. Why is that so?
Primarily three reasons, if I think of it in specific ways. One, I had always wanted to see the world, but I had wanted to get paid to do so. So being in exports, whether you're working for somebody or it's your own business, you still get paid to travel.
True.
Two is that when I was thinking of starting some business, exports was the only business where you didn't need capital to start with. So that was again one of the constraints that I was very clear that I don't want to use family money to start my business. It has to be my own. So our goal was very clear, zero investment thi business કેવી રીતે ચાલુ કરો. So exports was something that came naturally to me.
Export few years back એવું નહોતું કે third party confirmation ના હોય ને you have to spend a lot of money to sell the goods.
Now, in which sense? In like a third party for?
The bank guarantee.
We work only on advance basis.
Okay.
Only once they pay, we procure the material and then we ship it. So nothing is even procured before the payment comes into our account.
Oh,
even
wow.
to this date. So,
okay.
So that was very clear that we wouldn't be, investing any capital in starting the business. So that was the second reason, travel, money. And third was that I was good with studies, but I didn't want to play with stats and math and all. So again, I thought exports is one business where I can get away with it. So three reasons why I had wanted to get into exports. So that's how.
And export of medical, very specifically, why?
See, I had, before I started my own venture, I had worked with 4 different companies.
Okay.
Dye stuff, medical, solar, and last company was laboratory equipment. So during the course of those jobs, you develop connects, you develop insights. So medical came very naturally to me that okay, there were enough connects. I had traveled extensively even at that time. When there were no mobile phones, I traveled to Nigeria alone.
Wow.
I traveled to Ethiopia, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Ghana, without any handy internet phone at that time. Not even roaming.
Yeah, એ વખતે તો
There was nothing. This I'm talking 2004, 2007. So you had internet over your computers, but nothing on your phone. And even international roaming was not provided by the company where I was working in that.
Okay.
So anyways, it was, I loved traveling. So Nigerian experience was very difficult. Some other episode we can discuss travel incidents. But it was a nightmare to be over there. But that's how you learn, that's how you build connects. So eventually it happened so that, okay, I left the company where I had built those connects, and after 7 years, we were still in connection. So they still used to send me emails or eventually WhatsApp or LinkedIn that, okay, I'm looking for this product from India, can you help me? Can you get me this product? So eventually you figured that, okay, these people are looking for reliable suppliers. Sometimes they even know the manufacturer. They'll tell me, okay, Ashit, that guy is the manufacturer. You get it from him and supply it to us. So their issue was not the manufacturer. Their issue was getting a reliable supplier.
And I think the trust was
Yes.
The biggest challenge few years back for the export business, for sure.
Correct. So eventually that is what led us to believe that there are people who are looking for suppliers whom they can rely on. They were not concerned if I'm not a manufacturer. So that helped us crystallize the idea that maybe this is the field where we will settle in eventually.
Wow. Okay. And from your experience of 50 countries during your export business, how do you see and how do you feel the difference of the business within Gujarat, not the specific business, but the kun of Dando and the other countries' Dando?
As in how people in other country do business vis-a-vis how they
Yeah,
do over here.
comparing the business or maybe the behavior and discipline. Of course, the manners and everything is something which we can't win.
So see, every country has its own way of doing business. Every country has its own culture. For example, when you are doing business, or at least the people that I have done business with in Algeria, they'll only surface when they have business or some discussion. Rest of the 11 months, possibly in a year, they wouldn't even respond to your WhatsApp message.
True baat.
That's how they are. It's not that they are rude or something, but that's how they are. If you're talking to some Pacific island country person, sometimes they come across as very rude, but it's not that they are rude. It is how they talk.
Yeah.
It is how they behave. So every country has a different way of doing business. Like one of my former colleagues, he made a very good observation. Brands work in Europe, bonds work in Africa. So your personal connects are more important in Africa, while brands are more important in Europe. So when I say Africa, I think that extends to a lot of other countries as well. We work in about 55 countries right now. And most of those countries, they value working with a reliable supplier. In our case, we. So many a times we get emails or messages from them that 1, 2, 3 are the manufacturers. These are their pricing. You get it from them, add your margin, but you buy it and ship it to us. So that's the kind of trust that they have, that even when they say you add your margins, they are clear that we are not going to rip them off.
Yeah, wow, nice. Very safe business, I would say.
That's what.
Then very safe, very travel friendly business ને છોડીને of course એ ચાલી રહ્યો છે એની સાથે સાથે how did you thought of coming into a market which is already very competitive in India?
See, to be honest, when we were only in exports, 2014 is when I started full time into exports.
Okay.
Prior to that, Sandeep was doing exports, as in he started the company, I joined later on. But from 2014 to 2019, we were very clear as partners that we will not get into manufacturing. So medical exports is a trading company that we run. We were very clear we will not have any business in India. The medical business that we are doing right now is just exports. We don't have any billing in India. And 3, we will not supply anything on credit.
ઓછો કરશું પણ શાંતિથી કરશું.
Oh yes, it is only my terms, no other terms. That is how we started that business. That only we decide which product, which country, what terms. If it ticks for you, very good. If not, we are not going to make any leeway for that. So it's only my way or my way. There is no highway as well in that case. So એ થોડુંક કહે ને કે દાદાગીરીથી જ બિઝનેસ કરેલો છે ત્યાં તો. But Sandeep and I, Sandeep is the business partner with whom I have both these ventures. He and I have a streak for sustainability. આપણે tree plantation કરાવ્યું કે કોઈ donation કર્યું કે many a times we had also filed RTIs when trees were being cut for road widening and all. So we had that streak for sustainability. But nothing that was on a continuous basis, because obviously you are busy with your family, your business and everything. So you don't have that opportunity to do something on a continuous basis. Now, this whole idea of starting a water brand came from a single sentence that we read in a magazine. In flight. તો જે આપણે જે ગુજરાતી ધંધાનું જે આપણું ડીએનએ છે કે ભાઈ એક વાક્ય ઉપરથી કેવી રીતે આખું બિઝનેસ ઊભું કરવું. Belgrey is a testament to that. So that was we read one sentence. So at that time, see, it was not even an idea to start a business around it because it's not our field. You can think of sending rockets to space, a very lucrative business, but that's not our field. So similarly, it was for this one. Like water is a good business, but it wasn't our field miles away. But somewhere it sort of stuck. That couple of times I would have told Sandeep that drop it. We have enough working in exports, and then we were also at that point of time considering having a subsidiary in Ethiopia with a local partner over there. The government over there had also identified land parcel for us, so we were very advanced in that project as well. So we thought plate full છે યાર હજી બીજું નથી લેવું અત્યારે. But somewhere, as I told a couple of times, Sandeep, let's drop it. Couple of times he would have told it, but back of the mind, it kept nagging us. That there is something over here that you can work on. There is a gap in the market. So okay, one fine day we thought at least let's sit over it and think over it. Is there any business model over here in the first place? Because you're talking of bottles which needs to come back.
True. Very difficult.
So what sort of raw material you will use, what sort of logistics you will need. That was the initial thought that okay, even if we want to get into this field, what is the feasibility in the first place to even enter this field, let alone then start to run it. So you did all those homeworks, you put in Excels are always very good at giving you rosy pictures. So we were like થઈ તો શકે એવું છે આમાં. So we thought okay, we again gave it a thought that let's do one thing. We'll earmark a certain amount of money for this project, which is 100% an experimental project. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you move on. As an entrepreneur, you give it a try. Market accepted it, didn't accept it, you learn in either cases and then you move on. I thought okay, let's do it. Okay, to 2019 September is when we thought okay, we want to go ahead with this. Within 4 months we were ready with the factory, machinery, bottle, branding, layout,
manufacturing also,
everything. So trial runs had started and everything. Now when you start a business, normally you count your strength. Right? When we started this business, we didn't have even a single strength specific to this industry, but we had identified 7 weaknesses.
Okay.
So it was technically a recipe for disaster from day one. Now only when you are an entrepreneur, you will still go ahead with this.
True.
If I were a corporate executive, I'll make a project report for this. Definitely it's going to be junket.
True.
So we thought okay, even if there are weaknesses, now how do you work around those weaknesses to make them your strength? Just like in export, when I said we had identified capital, we had identified certain other aspects which were not working for us, and then how we worked around that. Similarly over here, we had weaknesses, but each of those weaknesses were turned to be our strength eventually. So we were not in આપણે જે ગુજરાતીમાં કઈ ભણેલા છે પણ ભણેલા નથી પણ ગણેલા છે. So for this industry અમે ભણેલા નતા, but ગણેલા તો છે જ because આપણું business experience, knowledge, market, your observation as a consumer.
True.
You can bring all those experiences into play over here. So the 7 weaknesses that we had identified were no manufacturing experience, no domestic marketing experience, no FMCG connect, no Horeca connect, no marketing team, no marketing budget, no well-known brand, and without a well-known brand, we were starting a new concept of business.
The concept was very new.
See, when you are a known brand, it's easy for you to start something experimental.
True.
Here, we were completely unknown, and we also had a new concept of business. So again, that was a difficult combination. Now with all those weaknesses, we thought we'll still go ahead. And okay, factory, everything was ready. February, we got a chance to meet then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Rupani Sahib. So at that time, Modi Sahib and Rupani Sahib both had made enough announcements in public course કે સિંગલ યુઝ પ્લાસ્ટિકનો ઉપયોગ કઈ રીતે ટાળે, લોકો એના ઉપર વિચારે, એન્ટરપ્રિન્યોર્સ વિચારે, યુવાનો વિચારે. So at that time we considered ourselves to be યુવાનો. So we thought, okay, this is something that might interest the government. તો અમને એમને મળવાનો ચાન્સ મળ્યો. We explained him the concept. He liked it very much. So we invited him for the launch function of the Belgrey product. Our idea was that, see, you are a newbie. If somebody of that stature can come for launching a product, you get at least some media mileage.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So that is what our thought was. कि एक तो government ने ख्याल पण आवे कि there is actually an option for plastic. Two, we also get some marketing mileage out of that. This we are talking February 2020.
Okay.
March 2020 was when we were going to launch it. Because we had wanted to time it in a way કે સમરની ડિમાન્ડ આવે એની પહેલા આપણે બહાર આવી જાય. Now all the 7 weaknesses aside, you had the mother of all weakness now, COVID.
Yeah.
Right. So even before you could produce your first commercial bottle, there was lockdown. So you have your EMIs, you have your rent, you have your employee salary, everything running for a venture which was experimental, which you had no idea whether it will run or not. And now it is in a lockdown. For what duration, you have no idea.
No idea.
Right? So every day you keep questioning yourself કે ભાઈ જ્યાં હતા ત્યાં સારા હતા, આમાં કેમ આવ્યા છે? You know, what are you doing over here?
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's part of your entrepreneurial journey, that you keep questioning yourself every day. Even to this day, we keep questioning ourselves કે ભાઈ, are we in the right field or not?
Yeah.
So we didn't lay off a single employee at that time. Nobody's salaries were reduced. Delivery boys હતા કે સિક્યુરિટીના લોકો હતા કે જેમનું ત્યારે તો આપણે કોઈ જરૂર પડવાની જ નથી. We retained every one of them.
Nice.
All throughout the COVID period, they were paid on time. Once the COVID period got over with, આપણે test samples production લીધું માર્કેટમાં, કેમ કે હવે launch function है तो બધું forget it. There is no gathering possible.
Yeah.
But the difficult part was, for the next 2.5 years, there was no HoReCa market. Restaurants and hotels were the worst affected. So surviving through that was a difficult phase again. Obviously, our other business helped
of course, the
survive this phase in this particular business. Had it been a standalone venture, it would have folded up long
Definitely,
time.
Yeah.
But that is how we got into this field. Though prior to 2019, even I myself would not have believed we'll get into this field.
Oh. So generally લોકો આવું બિલીવ કરતા હોય છે કે એન્ટરપ્રેન્યોરશિપ કરીએ છીએ, નવો ધંધો કરીએ છીએ તો મને આ વિચાર છે તો મને આવું કંઈ કરવું છે. હાઉ ડીડ યુ ફાઇન્ડ કે, બિકોઝ તમારા કન્વર્ઝેશનમાં લોટ ઓફ ટાઈમ આઈ હર્ડ કે હું ને સંદીપ ટ્રાવેલ કરતા હતા, હું ને સંદીપ આ કરતા હતા. હાઉ ડીડ યુ ફાઇન્ડ કે ઓકે હું ને સંદીપ જ આ ધંધાને આગળ લઈ જઈશું? એવું ના થયું કે હું એકલો કરું ઓર એ એકલા કરશે? ઓર હાઉ ડીડ યુ
see, your question is,
because it's bigger question for a lot of people to find a co-founder in a modern entrepreneurship business. If I want to start something new now, if I want to have that wavelength, understanding and trust is very difficult to have it on a co-founder. What was your game on this same?
So see, you also need to know your own strengths and weaknesses. While you have SWOT for your business, you also need to have SWOT for your own skills. Now in my case, I'm very clear I wouldn't be able to run any business alone.
Okay.
Right. That's what I know about me. Okay. So there was no question of me doing any business alone. That was very clear for me at the very onset. Now whenever you are looking for a co-founder, for example, for any other venture, one is, if you know where you are not good at, that will allow you to check what kind of a co-founder you want.
True.
what kind of skill set he or she needs to bring in for you to
Run the
complement
business.
each other.
True.
So first and foremost is you need to know where you are weak, whether that weakness can be outsourced to a salaried person. If so, then you may still go solo. But if not, that's where mentally you need to be open to having a co-founder. Now, having a co-founder does not mean he or she is going to work for you.
True.
You are going to work with
Each other.
him or her.
Yeah.
Right. Now, at that time, you also need to understand that if I have tolerance for his 10 weaknesses or her 10 weaknesses, he or she will also be having tolerance for 15 of my weaknesses.
Very true.
So, you need to be mentally open to be tolerant of things which will not be connected with business, but you are still going to live with it.
True. It's very personal because ઘણી વસ્તુઓ એકબીજા પર આવતી હોય.
See, a lot of things you do, a lot of things he or she could do may not be connected with business, but you may or may not like it.
True. Possible.
Right. Now you need to see how much of that affects your business, how much of that is going to help you even if you ignore it. So that mindset is co-founder છે તો મેં કહ્યું એમ જ કરશે એવી રીતે ના હોય.
ના હોય.
That person is also joining you because he or she wants to build a business. Else they could have joined somebody else as an employee anyways.
True.
So in Sandeep and my case, we are very much different from each other in terms of how we look at business. He is way more on the optimistic side. I'm way more on the conservative side. So we balance out each other. And that is why it's been almost 20 years, more than 20 years that we are now working together.
જોરદાર. જનરલી તમને એવું ક્યારે ફીલ થયું કે યાર વોટર ઇઝ વેરી કોમોડટાઇઝ પ્રોડક્ટ અને યુ નો કે I mean 2020 is not something, so you are, now I believe you are not selling water.
No.
You are more into selling the sustainability concept. પણ ત્યારે બી એ સસ્ટેનેબિલિટીમાં ઇટ કુડ બી અ પ્લાન્ટ, ઇટ કુડ બી એનીથિંગ, ધ ટેક્સટાઇલ ઓર એનીથિંગ. પણ કેમ એવી પ્રોડક્ટ કે જે ઓલરેડી માર્કેટમાં ઓલરેડી બહુ જ મોટા પ્લેયર્સ છે, ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન નેટવર્ક જેનું બહુ જ મોટું છે, બી ઇટ અ બિસ્લેરી ઓર એની અધર કિનલે ઓર એની અધર બ્રાન્ડ, ગવર્મેન્ટના નોર્મ્સ પ્રમાણે ગવર્મેન્ટની ઇવેન્ટ્સમાં ઘણી અલગ પ્રકારની બોટલ્સ મૂકવામાં આવે છે. હાઉ વિલ યુ, હેવ યુ એવર થોટ હાઉ વિલ યુ કન્વિન્સ યોર કસ્ટમર કે વાય યુ શુડ બાય બેલ્ગ્રે વોટર? Because ultimately for customer, before buying concept, for broader audience I'm talking about, they will think of કે હું છેલ્લે તો પાણી જ લઈ રહ્યો છું. Yeah, so I have something else in my mind કે મેં ઘણા બધા લગ્નમાં એવી નાની બેલ્ગ્રે બોટલ્સ બી જોઈ છે where I can connect કે very premium શાદી only have done this.
Yes.
Not every શાદી has done this. So coming back to the first question, have you ever thought કે હું મારા કસ્ટમરને કેવી રીતે કન્વિન્સ કરીશ કે why you should buy Belgrey and what is the difference in my water also?
See, what is important when you are starting any business is you identify the segment where you will find your audience. You should know where you want to sell your product. More importantly, you should know where you don't want to sell your product. What is your market and what is not your market at this given point of time. When you identify that, your resources are directed towards the segment where you want to focus in. Right. So when we started this Belgrey venture, we were, as I told you, we had earmarked a very certain amount of money. We had wanted to play only within that. So as you rightly said, see, water is a very commoditized product. 2020, maybe there were 25,000 brands in India.
True.
Today there will be 45,000, give or take. Every district will have, every pin code will have 10 manufacturers.
True.
Right. So you are right, it is a very commoditized product. Water, what more you can give to differentiate per se. But in our case, what we identified was that, see, there is a sliver of market where they are looking for options for plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. So you needed to identify that market and provide them a product solution which matches their expectation. So it goes to several other layers as well, that how you design your product, what kind of brand name you want, what kind of looks you want your product. It's like we were a newbie in this industry when we started it, but the moment you see a Belgrey bottle, you will not think at that time as well that this is some newbie or a rookie company.
True.
So since we identified this market segment, now you do backward integration કે ભાઈ મારે આ સેગમેન્ટમાં મારી પ્રોડક્ટ આપવી છે. What will they appreciate? What would they like to see? What is more important for them? So our mandate to the lady who designed the look of our bottle was that આપણે નવા છીએ, આપણે નવ શીખ્યા છીએ, પણ મારી પ્રોડક્ટ તાજ હોટેલના રેસ્ટોરન્ટના ટેબલ ઉપર હોય તો એ ત્યાં જ બિલોંગ કરે છે એવું લાગવું જોઈએ. It should look as if it was meant to be on that table.
આવા ક્લાયન્ટ અમને બહુ જ ગમે. If such kind of brief has been given, then I'm sure that lady must have been so happy to create something because the brief is very clear. એટલે કદાચ you are not focusing on the price while the launching, you're more focusing on the experience of that bottle.
See, there were reasons why it went the way it went. That one, if you're targeting a certain level of market, your product needs to look like that. We didn't want our product to look like an NGO product or a product which is, because it is sustainable, you pay more. In our whole business model, sustainability is built into the model. People who are buying our product do not necessarily buy because they are doing for sustainability.
True.
Right. Most of the restaurants or hotels which are working with us, they appreciate sustainability, but it's not necessary that they are deploying Belgrey just because of sustainability.
It is also premium.
Right. It should make economic sense for them as well because they are also running a ship which is driven by profit.
True.
So unless your business model is benefiting all the stakeholders, it's not going to succeed. Now here we are running a business which is driven by a cause. This company was started specifically for sustainability. કે ભાઈ પ્લાસ્ટિકનું વેસ્ટ આપણે ઓછું કેવી રીતે કરશું. That was our thought. My customer may or may not subscribe to that thought.
Possible.
Right. So my product cannot look shabby just because અરે આ સસ્ટેનેબલ છે ને તમે એની ડબલ પ્રાઇસ આપીને મને સપોર્ટ કરો. I would rather make an NGO in that case. Right. A cause can be addressed by an NGO or a not-for-profit company or a for-profit company.
True.
In our case, we specifically made it a for-profit company so that it has market dynamics as well built into the model. When you can, mix your cause with economics, the cause is self-driven. It does not depend on somebody writing a check for donation.
How you made this difference કે મારે another green brand નથી બનાવવી? When you said that you want to place a bottle in a Taj, or you want to feel that that customer should be feeling it's not just paying premium just because it's a sustainable. So it's not another green brand, right? It's more about a feeling of associating with that brand as well. How did you guys come up with this thought to have not an NGO wali feeling? How? I mean, what was the process behind it? If you can just share. Or just a thought process, whatever.
Yeah, see, one was that how the product is presented. You see, you have 4 P's in any product. Product, packaging, placement, pricing. Or promotion.
Yeah.
Give or take.
No, now there are 11 P's.
Forget it, yeah. So see, in our case, promotion was not an option.
True.
So we were left with other 3. Presentation, pricing and placement.
Your MBA worked here.
I don't think so, but yeah, see, education, at least what I learned, was very good, very helpful, but I don't think it was meant for entrepreneurship. This you learn from your own observations.
True, very true.
As a consumer, as when you go around in a supermarket, what you observe, how you observe. Why I will pick up something, I'll read something, and I may buy it or I may not buy it. What is my thought process when I'm in a supermarket, and what is my own thought process when I'm in a restaurant? Everything affects your business decisions as well.
True.
When you are going to a grocery shop for shopping, you will be comparing gram to gram. આ એક ગ્રામના ₹1.5 છે અને એકના 75 છે. You decide whatever you want to buy, but you have that thinking of savings at that time.
Yeah.
From there itself, you go to a restaurant where you will be easily paying say 400-500 for a cup of coffee. You wouldn't go કે આમાં 1 ml ના કેટલા રૂપિયા મેં દીધા. Right? So your own mindset changes from what you are doing or from where you are doing. So that was again the reason why we wanted to focus on a certain market segment and not go into all the other market segments. See, if I have to launch Belgrey, why we focused on B2B is that with your limited budget, you can only service a certain amount of market segment. If I had wanted to go retail, I would have at least in Ahmedabad itself maybe 200-250 retail outlets where I had needed to deliver and get the empty bottles back, which as a newbie was impossible. Second, I'll have to advertise myself to the footfalls of all those 250 retail stores. So that means I'll be having to run mass marketing campaigns, newspapers, channels, billboards and everything. The conversion in that might be less than 0.1%.
Maybe.
The number of people who view your billboard and actually making
You
a purchase.
don't actually, you can't make a number out of it.
Correct.
Only the digital is the media where you can see the numbers. Otherwise, it's the broader marketing.
It's very
activity.
difficult. So see, again, when you were clear where you want to focus or what market segment you want to sell, you only focus on that market and rest everything you can ignore. So in our case, promotion was anyways not something we were keen on. We are still not doing any paid promotions anywhere.
Very nice.
The whole business built so far is word of mouth, service, and we traveling ourselves, for now our staff traveling and getting to know people. So one was presentation of the product, two was pricing. You need to get your pricing right so that your stakeholders benefit in each segment. Third was the placement, where I want my product to be seen or sold. Now in a commoditized product like water, we had to build a premium brand without advertising in a market which is dominated by so many large as well as small players.
True.
And we say we are not going to do any advertising. So you can understand the difficult part of creating a brand which is going to target a very small sliver of premium segment, where you say we are not going to pay for promotions.
Have you ever thought of getting investors and VC game and everything?
To be honest, yes, we have been thinking now lately, because we currently have 3 plants, one in Delhi, one in Gujarat, one in Goa.
Okay.
We need to expand to at least having 7 or 8 to be a pan-India brand.
Okay.
And there is market for it.
Okay.
So yes, now we need
And
to.
daily, how many bottles do you guys sell, if may I ask?
It's a completely variable number, because winter quarters, where you have a lot of foreign tourists coming in and you have wedding seasons, they are the busiest ones, while the summers are the lowest ones. Although when we started, we thought summers will be the peak ones.
But I think the placement and the way it has been premiumized, I would say, and the number of weddings I have attended and I have seen the Belgrey bottles on the table, it is surely not the drink for the summer कि मैंने गर्मी जने पानी જોઈએ तो वहाँ लाऊं છું. It is more of maybe a status symbol for people also in weddings, that okay, they had Belgrey bottles.
Now, see, there is also a genuine concern amongst people that they want to reduce single-use plastic consumption.
Yeah, nowadays it is true.
Before we started this venture in 2019, October, November, I guess, we surveyed about 700 restaurants with just one question: are you looking for an option for single-use plastic bottle? 84% said they are open to considering options, okay, which meant there is a market which is looking for an option. That was our first indication that maybe we can go in this new territory altogether. So the idea was that, see, there is a segment of market which is looking for an option to plastic. You know, there are many other ways, any ways for them to show their status or spending on anything. Marriages,
The
sky is the
biggest
limit.
thing, yeah, true.
Right? But when you want to do something different, or when you want to do something for sustainability, glass bottles are the best ones.
How do you see, and for the viewers and for the people who will be seeing this, how do you do the cycle of this recycle game? I mean, you collect the bottles, and what is the process at your end?
So it's the whole logistics that we
Yeah.
have to build from scratch.
Right.
You need to design your bottles, you need to design your packaging, you need to design your logistics. Everything is customized for safe transport of bottles to and fro. So for example, if I am working with any restaurant over, say, here in Ahmedabad, from our factory warehouse, the shipment is sent to them in customized crates.
Okay.
Now the crates were also designed in a way that initially, even from Gujarat all the way to Goa or to Patiala and Rishikesh, sent and received back. There is no breakage in transit. The biggest fear that the restaurants we thought when we were starting was that कांच से तो टूटी जैसे. There is a genuine fear that breakage will be very high. How will we handle it? So every time we saw there were some problems or weakness, you work around it to ensure that a problem na rahe. So that's where we customize the crates in a way that our breakage in transit is less than 0.1%.
Very nice.
While in the industry, it is a norm that you can give 1% breakage and people are still going to pay you for 100%. So you had to design everything in a way that you make it easier for the restaurants to deploy your product, to receive your product, to store the product once they have received it, to store the empty bottles as well. And when we deliver fresh shipment next time, we take back the empty bottles of a previous order.
Okay. That's a blue
So it
crate,
goes in
I think.
Yes.
I remember.
So it's a continuous loop that we provide them, where we make it very easy for them to migrate from single-use plastic, or now even single-use glass, to our model, which is regionally refilled returnable glass bottles.
So these bottles are being crushed and made the new bottles again, or few will be just the washing and the...
Yes. See, when you think of sustainability, recycling is very good, but reuse is still better.
True.
And glass bottles are one such bottle which you can keep sterilizing and you can keep using it. And even after crushing them, glass is one of the rare materials which you can recycle for n number of times.
Oh, nice.
So reuse n number of times and recycle n number of times. That's what makes glass very eco-friendly. Now the problem these days is that people think what is not plastic is sustainable. Okay. So they use glass bottles. But when a glass bottle is used just once and discarded, environmentally speaking, it is creating more harm than a single-use plastic bottle.
True.
The carbon footprint of
of
making a
course.
glass bottle is way higher than a plastic bottle. So unless you reuse a glass bottle, it's not eco-friendly.
Do you think carbon footprints buying will be a bigger business in future?
Yes.
You might have to buy the points or something. This is what I heard from people, that you will have to buy certain trees or certain clean environment, certain things, and which is what Ambanis are already doing in your hometown.
See, they are doing a lot of things even beyond what we
Can imagine, definitely.
People can imagine. I mean, their thinking starts beyond where we can stop thinking. So whatever they are doing is one point of, but yeah, see, eventually sustainability is going to be something that will encompass all businesses. Now sustainability in two ways. One is personal health, and one is planet's health. Whatever the other businesses there is AI, there is energy, there is everything else, that is fine. End of the day, unless people and the planet are healthy, nothing else is going to matter. So sustainability is going to be a business going forward. And as we see things gradually moving towards, is that carbon tax, carbon credits, everything is going to come into picture. The biggest problem that India, EU, FTA had was the carbon tax on steel.
True. On the steel, yeah.
Right. So eventually, if not now, maybe 20 years down the line, carbon tax, carbon credit will be the norm.
Every founder or every businessman generally talks about the success. Would you mind sharing your certain failure attempts during the journey of Belgrey?
See, failures in the sense, we would have wanted to grow much faster than what we have done so far. The initial 3 years were ravaged because of COVID. Our Excels had told us that within 3 years we'll be somewhere when we were in 2019.
Right.
Okay. Now those Excels are also obsolete.
Because failures are something which teaches you a lot
Yes.
rather than the success. So that's where my question is, what were the challenges you came in the place?
So see, there are a lot of things that you assume when you start. Now, when we came into this industry, we thought that hotels which are charging say 20,000, 15,000, whatever the charge they do for premium hotels, having a 100 rupee glass bottle would be so easy for them,
True.
That was our assumption. Now when you meet them, when you discuss with them, you understand कि भैया 1 रुपया भी अगर उनको ज़्यादा खर्च करना है, they'll have a mountain of emails amongst themselves for that first, and then they'll discuss with you कि भाई 1 रुपया तो नहीं, मैंने 60 पैसा से. So there were times when with certain 5-star hotels GM, we were discussing for a price revision that was in the range of 12 paisa.
True. And the amount of days they will waste over this is going to cost them actually more than that.
See, that is their economics. I'm not questioning that. They may or may not be right in whatever they are doing. But when you start with something, you assume कि भाई 5-star hotels है तो શું છે, એમને તો 100 रुपया तो रूम ना खर्ची જ શકે ને, 15,000 रुपया एक रूम ना लिए છે, तो what 100 rupee will matter to them. But we figured that that's not the case. See, there are a lot of learnings over here, obviously many of which can't be shared on camera as to who, where, what, how. But when you start something, you assume a lot of things.
True.
You assume a certain market segment will be lapping up your product. But gradually realize not that, but this market segment is actually which is giving you the revenues.
How is Delhi and Goa market compared to Gujarat for Belgrey?
See, Horeca in both those territories is much bigger than in Gujarat. In Gujarat, you have, in last 5 years now, a lot of restaurants have come up in Ahmedabad. But it is still, if you count premium restaurants in Ahmedabad, maybe not more than 50, give or take.
Possible.
While in Goa, that might be 500 or more. There are 28,000 registered food and beverage outlets in Goa. The registered ones, unregistered, no figures. Now, out of the 28,000, even if you say 5%, that is still 1,400, which can be your target market. Similarly, is for Delhi, Jaipur, Agra, Triangle. Again, a huge market. So, Gujarat is where, since we were here, Garni Ajubaju experiment karu safe way, so we started over here. So we get asked by a lot of people that you should have started this in Bangalore or you should have started this in Mumbai. Why did you start it in Gujarat? So we said two major reasons. One, experiment garni ajubaju kariye to safety rahe. Two, if my business model works in Gujarat, it will work anywhere else.
This is somewhere I can relate to. जो अहमदाबाद में गाड़ी चलाता आवड़ी गई તો આખા વર્લ્ડમાં ક્યાંય બી ચલાવી શકો.
but I think people in every city say that about their own city as well કે ભાઈ તમને જુનાગઢમાં આવડી ગઈ તો તમે
Oh
બધું
yeah.
ચલાવશો કે લેગોસ નાઇજીરિયામાં
True,
ચલાવી લીધી તો
true.
બધે. But yeah, that is the same. But જેમ કિશોર બિયાની, if you know,
Yeah.
he used to test all his new schemes first in Gujarat. એમની bookમાં પણ I think એમણે
Yeah.
લખેલું છે. If they made profit over here, then they'll replicate it all across India. So, see, when you are starting a new business where you want people to pay more than what they were used to paying, and if you are able to convince your Gujarati businessmen to do that, then I think we can work anywhere else in India.
Are you guys planning to have a B2C route also?
Eventually, yes, but not immediately right now. See, the game is that we want to focus more on B2B right now because idea is not to build a brand just for the heck of it. This company is all about sustainability. So we would rather focus on places where you have more number of bottles used and returned back as of now. But we do get a lot of inquiries from consumers કે મેં પેલી રેસ્ટોરન્ટમાં તમારી બોટલ જોઈ, હવે મને રેગ્યુલર યુઝ માટે જોઈએ છે તો હું ક્યાંથી લઈ શકું?
Right.
So that eventually that market is going to open up for us as well, even without we
Want or
doing
not
any
want.
advertising. See, that is again the game plan, that we don't want to advertise on large scale, and yet we will become a national brand where people will purchase your products online without you having to spend mega bucks to create an FMCG pan India brand.
Very strong statement, I would say. And I can see, because I have seen such things on many restaurants, at least in Ahmedabad, many weddings in Ahmedabad. People are using the bigger one and the smaller one bottles as well.
Yes.
Have you ever thought, because you said getting back, so maybe a question kadach khoto thai jase, the water boxes are also coming loud on the name of sustainability as well. I don't know, I'm not the right person to judge the product quality because of the sustainability is the question, but people are, the more brands are also coming out. I remember 2 years back બહુ ઓછા એક બે જણ જ હતા જે અત્યારે દરેક સિટીમાં એક એક થવા લાગ્યા છે. What's your take on this? Is it killing your market? Because I've seen such boxes in the premium restaurants as well. Is it competing? What is the scenario?
See, as the market grows, you know, as more and more people look for options to plastic, a lot more options will come into the market. A lot more players will also come into the market. But your pie of market keeps growing. At least for next 25 years, the Indian market is only going to grow. It's only after 2055 somewhere where our growth saturates, and then it plateaus and then tapers off. So till 2.5 decades from now, the market is going to keep growing. Now, obviously, a lot more options will come into the market. Many of those options would definitely be good. Many of them might seem good, and many of them might just be greenwashing. You know, everything is possible. End of the day, people are looking for options. You give them an option. It's now for the restaurant or the hotel owner to decide what he or she wants. So yeah, I think that's how the market is going to be. End of the day, everybody will have their share of pie.
Apart from the export business and Belgrey business, keeping the product or the specific domain aside, what do you think as a founder or the entrepreneur or a person who's doing a dhando should have certain qualities according to you and your experience? આટલું તો હોવું જ જોઈએ.
As in the skills that you need to start your business?
Maybe a skill, maybe a mindset, maybe a habit, anything. Because everybody has their very different 3 words, 5 words, 10 words, or you know, કોઈ કહે છે હું આવતીકાલ પ્લાન નથી કરતો, કોઈ કહે છે મારું 1 વર્ષ પ્લાન છે, કોઈ કહે છે હું બુક નથી વાંચતો, લોકોને વાંચું છું, કોઈ કહે છે હું 100 બુક વાંચું છું. So what's your take?
Yeah, see, everybody will have their own triggers. Okay. Now, if I have to think from what I believe is, sustainability was something that interested us. Sustainability was something about which we were passionate about. We never thought of building a business around it.
Okay.
But because it was of our interest, that one sentence in the magazine caught our attention. You read a couple of newspapers, you read a lot of things every day.
True.
Over years. But that one sentence caught our attention because it was something which was of our interest. So one is that if you have certain interest in terms of product, in terms of market, whichever the way, your eyes, nose, all your senses needs to be open for that. You need to be open to thinking beyond what is your comfort level. If you have that, you can build something that is new. You can see something that is not seen by others. If you have that questioning nature, only then you will be able to question કે માર્કેટમાં આ કેમ છે આ કેમ નથી અને આ નથી તો એના માટે શું થઈ શકશે. So you need to have observations. That observation can be from reading, from traveling, from looking at people, whatever the way. And you need to have a questioning nature. That you question everything. I think if you have these two, that opens doors for you to think what you can do.
Right.
May or may not be a venture that you start, but it gives you a point from where you can start thinking.
One last question. How do you manage and make a difference of personal life and entrepreneur life? Being Gujarati, is it embedded or how do you see it?
So see, when you are an entrepreneur, I think your mind works 24/7. You even dream of your business, right? But at the same time, you are a Gujarati, so you enjoy your travel, you enjoy your food, you enjoy your weddings, your family time and everything. Now, thankfully for us, since you are in exports business as well, whenever you travel, you also see what other opportunities you have over there. So sometimes you do get scolded as well. ફરવા આવ્યા છે તો અહીંયા ધ્યાન આપો. But now you are also in Belgrey, so even within India when you are traveling, you keep noticing things. क्या રેસ્ટોરન્ટમાં કઈ બોટલ છે, કેવી રીતે રાખે છે, સ્ટાફ કઈ રીતે પ્રેઝન્ટ કરે છે, what is their story, everything.
Have you ever seen, I mean, કે તમે ક્યાંક ગયા છો, people don't know you, and ત્યાં બેલ્ગ્રેડની 4 બોટલ પડી છે અને આવું ઘણી વાર થયું હશે, રાઈટ? એન્ડ then you introduce કે okay, this is what it is, my product. એવું કઈ ઇન્સિડન્ટ થયો?
As in, see, all the restaurants that deploy Belgrey, we keep going over there, but we never announce, we never tell beforehand. You just go as a regular customer, you pay your bill and you leave. We never
Announce,
interact or talk with them that we are the owners or we are the co-founders or whatever, because only then you can see how it is being treated, what way the staff is deploying the product. One restaurant we had gone a couple of years back, the owner was very happy to have Belgrey, but in 2 months the uptake was a fraction of what we had thought it would be for that kind of a place. So one fine day we went for lunch over there, and we sat and the server came to us, house water or bottled water. So we said bottled water. So initially he bought that house bottled water. So I said, not this one, I want sealed wala, branded chahiye. वो प्लास्टिक का बॉटल लाया. So I said, don't you have glass bottle? Sir, but that is very expensive. So you see the layers before your product is served to the consumer. Now your restaurant is anyways high end. People walking in are not
concerned about 100-200 rupees,
pricing,
yeah,
right? But somewhere the staff wasn't trained enough how to present. Now I am telling भाई मुझे branded bottle चाहिए glass वाला. He is still arguing in a way with me, in a good way, that he
Yeah.
wants કે ભાઈ તમારો ખર્ચો ઓછો થાય
બચી જાય.
possibly, whichever way. I'm not doubting his intention. પણ સર એ મોંઘી છે. ભાઈ હું જોઈ લઈશ ને. Right. If I had wanted to see just for the cost of the product, I will go to any other restaurant. Your restaurant is not known for lower prices. Right.
True.
So then we talked with the owner later on that, maybe you want to train your staff as to how to present the product. So whenever we go to any restaurant, we never announce. Even to this day, wherever we go, we just go, we observe. Because, see, when you announce beforehand, the service changes.
Yeah, definitely. It makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. You don't want that. You want to see how it's going on.
I'm sure because of the travel also, a lot of observation power has also increased for you.
Yes. See, earlier, when you walked into any restaurant, you didn't bother. Kai pani ni bottle le loko serve kare chhe. Now, even before you step in, you will
Dekhai
just
jai.
glance around. Acha kai branch hai.
Dekhai jai.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us the time and
you.
the opportunity. बहुत मजा आई.
Hopefully, your viewers have something interesting to take away from
Definitely,
you.
definitely. Thank you so much.